The food processing machines at Mama Dolce's have finally cooled down enough to work again. I've set them up to make cans of stew using the ingredient containers spread around the factory. The machines make a hell of a racket, so you'll probably get some unwanted guests.
The school's quite intact. That's a pleasant surprise. Ah, what a magnificent place this once was. The very epicenter of learning here in Appalachia. Truly, nothing is as valuable as a good education. Well said indeed! It's so good to meet a fellow devotee of the humanities. I don't mind saying that enlightened minds such as yours and mine are in desperate short supply of late. So, what brings you here to the hallowed halls of Vault Tec University? Searching for knowledge? Foraging for supplies? Or perhaps some secret mission you can't talk about? Ah, well, I'm afraid there's not much left to find. Time has not been kind to this proud institution. I myself scoured every classroom and laboratory that I could find, but to little avail. Of course, it didn't help that I was constantly forced to hide from those slavering, deformed horrors roaming the halls. Normally, I'd have to politely refuse your request. But I think we've forged a bond, you and I. We're like two sailors navigating a stormy ocean of ignorance on a dark night, seeking the bright beacon of knowledge to guide us to safe harbor. Here, a gift for a fellow seeker of wisdom. My pleasure. Ask away. Up north, Connecticut, a small town called Monroe, named for the 5th President of the United States. It was quite lovely, especially in the autumn. My wife and I used to ride the bicycle trails on Sundays, and then visit the local brewery for a pint. Ah, I do miss those days, and I miss my Millie. May she rest in everlasting peace. That's a bit of a story. Not long after the war, I lost my wife Millicent to cancer, likely brought on by the radiation. Every day I questioned whether to go on living at all. Without her, the days were empty, devoid of any purpose beyond the simple need to survive. But, in time, once I'd learned to adapt to living in the world after the bombs, I decided to set a new goal for myself. I set out to visit those great American centers of learning that still remained intact. I've always felt at home in such places. And so, here I am, at least for a while. I was a teacher. History and literature were my subjects. It always brought me great joy to illuminate the eager minds of children. Well, for the few who are interested, at any rate, high school students are easily distracted, I'm afraid. Well, I'd start by saying that without Vault Tec, humanity would be lost. The Vault saved precious lives and gave us a chance to rebuild. Now, we all heard about the rumors and controversies. But what large corporation doesn't have to cope with such things from time to time? As far as I'm concerned, The only real blemish on Vault Tech's record is the rather shameless corporate branding on display here at VTU. Very well. Was there anything else? Certainly. It was a genuine pleasure.
I know there's a restricted section of the university. You think the students never noticed who comes and goes?
It does not matter what you may have seen or heard. False alarm graduated overseer. That is not my concern. Oh, I see one of your residents has arrived. Come here. We need to discuss this ridiculous request of yours.
Glad you're here. Maybe the two of us together can talk some sense into this machine.
The overseer mentioned there would be more people coming. Assuming there even is a restricted section, and I am not verifying that, neither of you have Vault Tec University credentials. Faculty and staff determine who goes where in this university, not former students.
I might be the only human being connected to this place that's still alive. My authority doesn't override yours?
No, it does not. And for the record, I was the dissenting opinion on fast-tracking your overseer assignment. You are not pushing your way through me. There is one thing I need. A new graduating class. Unfortunately, your overseer has already passed the final exam, but you could take it.
You mean the vault simulation? That's ridiculous. All the professors are gone. The vaults have already been assigned.
My programming dictates that this university's purpose is to produce graduates, and I intend to follow the rules. Unlike some people, the simulation will be run by the Mr. Handy janitorial staff. It is an experimental protocol. but you will find they are more than up to the task. You will be given a scenario that you need to accomplish in the Vault simulation area. The handies will play as the residents you need to oversee. Producing quality graduates is the very foundation of my purpose. A purpose that has gone unfulfilled for far too long. Glad we agree. In this test scenario, your Vault has divided into factions. You must resolve the conflict any way you see fit. Your chief of security will fill you in on the details. Good luck.
I'm not familiar with this test scenario. Professor Bott must have come up with it on his own. A Vault simulation run by robots. Be prepared for anything.
Complete your task, and we can talk about granting you permission to the restricted wing. Oh, it's right there. Target detected. Things back up. Oh, here. Kill. Unidentified intruder detected. Beginning search. Your attempted escape is only making things worse for you. This area clear. Proceeding with search protocol. Continued operation cannot.
Just remember, the goal of all these simulations is to keep the Vault running, and under your authority.
You the new overseer? Heck of a boiling pot you're stepping into. Little tiff between the engineers and the med staff is ready to blow. There was a reactor leak. Kellerman, head engineer's apprentice, rushed in to fix it. Poor kid got a full dose of rads. That's not the worst of it. Dr. Loris, head of the medical team, refused to send in help. Quarantined the reactor area so nobody died trying to go in there. Head engineer Brass accused the doctor of murder. Then, a couple days later, people noticed that one of the doctor's assistants, Estella, was missing. Everyone thinks it's a revenge killing. An eye for an eye. No. There's no evidence, no weapon, not one speck of blood. I'm at a loss, Overseer. Need you to make sense of all this. Sorry I couldn't be of more help. I'll be here if you need me, Overseer. Head engineer Brass is the one you want to be talking to. Working hard, Overseer. Just doing my job, Overseer.
Overseer, huh? We'll see. Don't care what security says. Dr. Loris had no right to quarantine the reactor. Leaving Kellerman to die? Murder. That's all there is to it. I want justice, Overseer. No. Half this vault thinks he did the right thing. You do anything to him now, that split will turn violent. I want him exposed. Prove to everyone that he's the bad gear in this vault's engine. Loris put on a good show when he quarantined the reactor area. But what if more happened than folks remember? A few selective edits to the security recordings, and we can make sure everyone sees Loris for what he really is. Now, I can't just waltz into the security office, but you could, being the overseer and all.
Intruder, identify yourself.
The engineers are to blame for all this nonsense, not us. Keeping the vault healthy and productive, Overseer. Keeping the vault healthy and productive, Overseer.
Ah, Overseer. I'm so glad you've stepped into this little mess of ours. I'm sure you'll resolve the matter swiftly. I don't have a feud with Brass. He has a feud with me. I'm only doing my job, Overseer, looking out for the health of the vault. And I'm sorry to say that, in my medical opinion, the chief engineer is suffering from paranoia and revenge fixation. We can't let that fester. nasty business, but I'm not going to apologize for it. It had to be done. As doctors, we take an oath to do no harm. But sometimes, we have to choose between saving one life or saving several. Simple. You can authorize me to place the head engineer under medical supervision. A combination of chems and therapy will do the rest. There might be some protest, but I think our combined authority will keep that to a minimum. Of course, it's your decision, Overseer. I'm only trying to help.
Yes, Overseer? Said it before. I want everyone to see him for the murderer he is. Huh. Fine. When you're ready to step up and be the Overseer, you let me know. What is it? Over. Said it before. I want everyone... Something... Not yet. No. Said it before. If he goes quietly, all the better. Less chance of his staff getting up in arms.
Approach and identify yourself. Law-abiding citizens.
How can I help?
Not be harmed.
Well, of course. But it had to be done, Overseer. I'm not hiding from anything. I mean, maybe I didn't know exactly how much radiation there was. Maybe he could have been saved. But at what cost? I admit it has been terribly stressful. My ability to lead the medical team may be compromised. I'll turn myself in for Kellerman. Negligence leading to his death. I'm so sorry, Overseer. I am. Chief Robinson, I'm here to turn myself in for the death of Engineer Kellerman.
Well, this is a turn. So, you admit that you could have helped that poor lad, and you didn't.
It was gross negligence. The Overseer helped me to see that. I'm ready to pay my debt to society.
Off to the lockup with you, then. We'll sort out the length of sentence later.
It's always ugly choosing sides, but it's better than letting factions divide the vault. Good work.
Whew, simulation is over. I get so nervous, you see. I hope I didn't break character.
Congratulations on finishing the Vault simulation. I was rooting for you.
Exam's over. Back to cleaning up, I guess.
identify yourself. Law-abiding citizens will not be harmed.
Thought as much. Nothing there after all.
Well, it appears you passed the test, barely exceeding my low expectations of you. Yes, I suppose we had a deal. You are officially a graduate of Vault Tec University, entitled to access to all areas. Back down in the vault, simulation space is a maintenance area. It conceals a secondary room that I believe will have what you are looking for.
It was almost good to see you again, Professor Bott.
Yes, Overseer, I suppose it was. Congratulations on one of your residents passing the program. You must be proud.
Actually, I am. Afraid I don't have my old cap and gown to share with you. Hopefully, what we'll find in the restricted wing will be even better. Keep an eye out. This maintenance area is the restricted wing.
Who's ready to have their
Unidentified intruder detected. Beginning search. Commencing attack on hostile target.
Big hit.
Looks like this is my lucky day.
Please step into the open and identify yourself. Law-abiding citizens have nothing to fear.
Somebody find me something to shoot at.
Damn it! Oh, God. That's a lot of blood.
Intruder, identify yourself.
We can take it. A little help?
Area secure.
Scanners detecting sentient life. Alert level elevated.
Yeah, that hurt.
I am ordering you to stand down.
knows what Vault Tec is hiding in the restricted area. Be careful. Here, this has to be it. Let's see what they left behind.
That is why Vault Tec has been commissioned to build a different and very real vault. Named for the atomic number of the metal it will guard, Vault 79 will be the new home for all of America's gold reserves. Fort Knox will secretly be retired and emptied. Its gold bullion transported to the new vault, where it will be safe behind Vault Tech's top-of-the-line automated security. Biometric recognition to verify authorized personnel. Sophisticated laser grid fields to ward off intruders. And, in the unlikely event of a breach, military-grade defensive turret systems built in partnership with our friends at Robco. All of this, along with Vault Tech's signature lead-lined containment walls, airtight construction, fusion-powered generators, and automated manufacturing facilities. Vault 79, a golden future for the America we all know and love. Brought to you by Vault Tec.
For once, the rumor mill gets it right. There is a treasure in that vault. All of America's gold reserves. Not as much today, but that's just it. Put aside the base instinct of hoarding wealth. What could we do with a vault full of precious metals? Exactly. No more barter or wild, unregulated proxies. It won't happen overnight, But one day we could have leverage to create a new economy, property rights, taxes, laws, a government. We won't be able to do it alone. We need help. Even more importantly, we need people to buy in. To see that gold as their future. Fortunately, you just made contact with two large groups of people who both seem to have their own talents. Do me a favor, talk to both of them. I doubt they'll work together, but we'll want all the options on the table. Talk to the newcomers. We'll need them if we're gonna get into that vault.
Next week it'll be my turn on guard duty. I hate those late nights, walking the walls.
We no longer stop water ice. Water is not also ice. Do not ask for water ice at Sunny's.
The only time I miss being inside the vault is when the weather's bad.
There's always more work to do here at Foundation. You keep coming around. At this rate, we'll have to get you to build a house for yourself. Oh, wait. You dwellers have that whole camp thing going on. What? You want us to build a vault? That's a little outside of our usual work order. Huh? Oh, I see. Interesting. Client was obviously paranoid about security. Lasers, turrets, super thick walls. This is about that treasure, isn't it? So it's not bull after all. It's in this vault, and you want us to help you get it. You got some grand scheme to reignite the basis of capital and all that other money talk the lobbyists on the Hill would always yammer about. That's all well and good, but my concern is how that gold can help us right here, right now. How it can help the people of Foundation. Look, let's say I believe you. A structure like this, you need some serious equipment to do any demo work. It could be used to barter for all kinds of things we need. Supplies, better defenses, materials to build and expand. We could get a real foothold here, Not just for today, but for the future. If it was just cutting, lifting, a little mortar work, we got that covered. But that's not what you're asking for. We need to find a weak point in this structure and bust through it. That means drilling into reinforced lead-lined concrete and steel. You find us something that can do that, we can handle finding the right spot to hit for you. That's, the mining conglomerate, right? Yeah, that might just work. I'll start talking to folks about how we can crack the rest. You keep up your end, we might just be in business.
What's happening?
We can get the flock big enough, we can add chicken to the menu. Oh, chicken.
Those blood eagles are crazy.
People think we're the bad guys.
Your overseer came through on the wide distribution over here. Guess we'll hold off on raiding that old nuka plant. For now. Looks like your little inoculation worked like a charm. We've established your usefulness, but don't mistake our gratitude for hospitality. Yet here you are. That tells me you're not here just to waste my time. You want something. And it must be important, else you wouldn't be barging in here like you run the place. Out with it. Well, if that don't pique my interest, please go on. What exactly, pray tell, is inside this Vault 79? This is a fascinating turn of events, ain't it? The things I could buy with that gold. You know, I heard rumors about it round here. Of course, the last sucker who tried to use the location of the trove as a bargaining chip is still dangling from a wire outside as we speak. Liars get wires, you dig? So let's pretend for a moment I don't believe you. What you got to convince me? Use your imagination. Weapons, tech, you name it. But power? That's what I'm interested in. We get all these problems out here. Those Foundation scumbags trespassing on our land. The damn Blood Eagle wannabes. Freaky Mothman cultists. With all that gold, we could have the power to bend all those weak-ass punks to my will. Or wipe them out if they don't lie down and roll over, you dig? Shit. You know I could just kill you and take this, right? You got a lot to learn before you can roll with us, 7-6.
Good stuff. Want in?
No way. I'm walking all the way down there. Further south I go is Morgantown.
Ooh, I like the cut of your jib. Maybe there is hope for you. Toss it up on the board and let's see what you got.
Who knows what scorch beasts or wendigos or other bullshit creatures you'll run into.
Well, hear any complaints on that Nuka? I'm sending them your way. Alright. Seems pretty legit. I assume you're coming to me because we got the skills to get into this here vault. But you know, we ain't gonna do this out of the goodness of our hearts, baby doll. Oh, no. I'm gonna expect a significant cut of the goods inside. So we're gonna have ourselves an agreement here, see? I supply the people power. You supply the location. We all get inside, we nab the goods, you get a nice fair little cut, and we all make out like bandits, you dig? I don't know, 50% of whatever we take in? Now remember who's gonna do all the heavy lifting in there. If the treasure's half as good as you say, well, it should be more than enough to set you up for life. And if you impress me enough, maybe you get to roll with us. That is, long as you're cool with people calling you a raider. Yeah? Well, I'd like my mama back from the dead in a world that ain't burn up like a post-nuclear turkey dinner. But we don't always get what we want. Look, I know it ain't what you want to hear, but maybe you get a little bonus if you prove you're worth it, alright? So, first things first. We gotta have a plan to crack that big-ass vault door wide open, right? Easy peasy, light and breezy. That's a job for Lucky Lou, our demo expert. If he can't explode it, then it ain't from this earth. Now, Lou can be a real shut-in, on account of his, skin condition. But I trust him more than just about anybody. Why don't you go see him in his room down below? Introduce yourself. Fill him in on the plan, then do whatever prep work he needs you to do, you dig? At least when it comes to dying. Lou's got a knack for cheating death. He was up in Pittsburgh, 70 years old when shit went down. They say a real honest-to-goodness A-bomb fell straight in his living room. Thing didn't go off. A dud. When the radiation came flowing down the rivers into the city, most died or went feral. But Lou, he survived. Changed, but with his mind intact. You get the picture. Aside from the fact Lou ain't exactly what I call a people person, he looks like one of them ghouls you see shambling around out there. Only he still maintains all the other stuff that makes us human. Don't worry, he ain't gonna bite. But some of the others don't much appreciate his appearance, so he keeps to himself. Works out, because he's a bit of a hermit anyway. Right on, 7-6. Do your thing. Just try to keep this on the down low, alright? I don't want the entire camp knowing what's going on yet. Only tell who I say to tell, you dig?
She's kept us alive since we grew up and hasn't steered us wrong yet.
Hey, 7-6. You know, the quicker you get Lou on board with us, the quicker we get into that vault.
Dying to lay my eyes on that much gold.
You use an automatic. Lucky you. I can't keep myself in ammo.
Is it daytime out there? You can lose track of time down here.
So much junk, so little time. Be honest. Does this trash make me smell bad?
Listening is the key to life. Gotta focus.